Hi everyone, my name is CPJ. Welcome to my channel. Today I would like to answer the question, do you need to invest a lot of money in your sound equipment, in your instruments to make good music? And the answer is as follows. First, you will need to have instruments, because without instruments you can't make music. Now you have to ask yourself another question: do I want to do this for a long time? Is this one of my passions? Is this something that I really enjoy doing? Is this something that I really see myself doing for many years to come? If the answer is yes, then look for, at least in the beginning, look for instruments that are reasonably priced but produce well-rounded sound, well-rounded acoustics and resonance, at least for acoustic instruments. My very first guitar was a Yamaha, and it wasn't a great guitar, but it did the job. I bought it. It was the cheapest thing I could buy. Of course, there are way better guitars, and then I upgraded to a Samick, which I found on the street. I just put strings on it, and I still use it today. It's a great guitar, wonderful acoustics. Now, in terms of recording equipment, you can spend thousands of dollars on microphones, but I like using the Shure SM58 for vocals, the Shure SM57 for instruments, and they work great with a little bit of tweaking in the software. Now if you use GarageBand, it's free. You can tweak the EQ in the software. You can get some pretty good sound. And then later you can upgrade to Logic Pro. But even if you don't have a computer, even before I started getting into using computers this time around, I had used them before in the past, but before I got into using computers this time around, I started using the Zoom R8, and the Zoom R8 is an 8-track recorder. And it's a great little machine. It has a series of drum tracks that you can lay down first, and you can increase the tempo or decrease the tempo depending on whether it's slow or fast. And then you lay down your bass. Now, if you don't have a bass guitar, you can lay down your bass even with the major string on your guitar, or if you have a keyboard, you can go into the left side of your keyboard and start laying down your bass with that. You can have various approaches, and of course you can buy a cheap bass guitar. I bought myself a Squire jazz bass, and it works great. It wasn't expensive. I got it secondhand for like 150 bucks. It works great. My guitar, my first electric guitar, I got a Yamaha, and this was back about 23 years ago. And let me tell you, that Yamaha I still use today, and I got it for 150 with the amp, which I don't have anymore. I sold for about $10, but the guitar still works great. And then I started upgrading. I got an Epiphone Les Paul with the P90 pickups, and just recently I got a Fender American-made Stratocaster. Well, what a difference it makes in sound, but with the other guitars, I was able to produce so much. And of course, this is an upgrade. The Fender is an upgrade. But it's not to say that the other guitars are worthless. I still need those other guitars for the various sounds. Now, if instead of a Fender American-made Stratocaster, again, you can buy a Fender Bullet. It's a Stratocaster, or is it a Telecaster? I'm not sure, but you can buy Telecaster and Stratocaster in Squire, and it's they're both fine guitars. Now the sound is not exact, but with a little bit of tweaking in the um, equalizer settings, you can make it sound quite all right, and then put a little bit of echo, a little bit of reverb, not too much, because then you'll have too much coloration in your music. You can make some pretty good songs. If you want to listen to the things I've recorded, I had recorded with the Zoom R8, anything prior to 2020. That's up on YouTube, for example, was recorded with the Zoom R8. It's a great little product. The sound is excellent. It records digitally. It records onto an SD card. I used to just stick it into my phone, and I transferred the music files from my phone. I actually used my phone for processing and uploaded online from my phone. I didn't even use a computer. So you don't need a computer. You can just use your phone. The app, not the Apple, the Samsung series, they have the micro SD card slot. And if you have one of those sleeves, you can stick the micro SD card into it. It turns into a proper SD card that you can use in the Zoom R8. Again, you can buy a lot of expensive things, but it doesn't necessarily make your music great. What you need instead is you need to have passion. You need to have motivation to keep plugging at it, to keep making better music, and you have to have a love for it, to love it and keep doing it. And by doing it, by loving it, you naturally become better. But of course, if you're making music by yourself, you have to go through the whole process. You have to think up the song, you have to practice the song, you have to play each track, you have to practice each track, practice the bass, practice the guitar, practice the piano, and it takes a lot of work. Then once the music is laid down in separate tracks, then you have to mix it, you have to color it the right way, arrange it the right way, cut it the right way. So it does take a lot of work. It does take quite a bit of tinkering around before you can get a song up to the level of upload. So when it's been produced to the level where you can upload it online. And I think Rootnote is a wonderful place to upload your music. Of course, it has to be a certain caliber. They don't upload a low quality music, so you have to make sure that your mix is right, there's no distortion, that you don't have any clipping. Yeah, for your microphones, use the pop filter, because you don't want to have any plosives in there. You don't want to speak too close to the mics, because then you'll have the proximity effect. You'll have too much bass in your microphone. So there are certain techniques that you can use even with cheap equipment to make a good music. And if you can't afford Logic Pro, again, use GarageBand. There are plenty of free softwares out there that you can multi-track record on your phone. Digital interface. The one nice thing about the Zoom R8, I still use it today, it has a digital interface. So when I upgraded the computer, I didn't need to buy the digital interface. I just used, and I still use my Zoom R8 as a digital interface. Yeah, I mean, slowly I'm upgrading, but it comes over time, upgrading a little bit at a time, and with passion, with perseverance, I can make better music, better tracks. And then of course my wife has more faith in me. My children have more faith in me in terms of my musical outlook. So if I invest a bit more in music, then they're not as concerned as they were in the beginning. So that's another concern, is getting your wife to agree for you to buy equipment if you're married. What else is there to say? Yes, just keep plugging at it, keep going at it, and then again have a look at my tunes before, prior to 2020. It was the Zoom R8. Post 2020 was mostly GarageBand. 2021 it's mostly Logic Pro. So slowly I've been upgrading software and computers, equipment, but slowly, not taking any drastic steps. If you like this video, please hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell button if you want to be notified for any of my new videos. Thank you so much for watching. Have a fantastic day, night, whichever it may be when you're watching this video. Over and out. Bye. Thank you.